What's up guys, Matt here with Matco Metalworks. Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy. And what I'm going to do here today, I'm going to start something a little new. So I'm really going to try every Wednesday. I'm going to call it Weld It Wednesday, and I'm going to post a 5-minute or less video. And what it's going to be will be welding tips, whether that be something to do with the machine, something to do with actual welding, cutting, plasma tables, plasma machines, some kind of machine here, something we're doing on site, something to do with business, with financial stuff, money, quoting jobs, subbing work, getting sub work. You get the picture. And so this one will be a little bit longer just because I'm explaining here. But what I'm going to do today is something I've been wanting to do. You've seen me use the Scotchman iron worker and the Bailey manual tubing notcher, and I'm going to show you today how to actually notch tube with a grinder and a cutoff wheel. This is a 6-inch. No, I don't have a guard on this. I hate guards. I know they're a little unsafe and these things can bite you, but I'll also show you how to cut with these the safe way, to where if they do catch, which they do, it'll pull it the other way. There's a certain way you hold this. And a lot of times I have to teach guys that are new in the shop because they want to turn it one way, and that's not the way to do it. If it kicks, it's going to kick back at you, whereas if you hold it a certain way, it'll actually kick, it'll pull that, that the other way. What I'm going to do here today, I've got a piece of pipe, and this is already coped, as you can see. It's just a piece of pipe that's coped on the iron worker. And what I've done is I've made a template, and this is just, you can get this at Lowe's. This is painter's paper basically. It's thicker than regular paper, printer paper, but it's also thinner than like construction paper. So what I do is I just have this, you can see I have it marked for 1¼ pipe. So the outside diameter of 1¼ pipe is actually 1 5/8. This is schedule 10. We use either schedule 10 or schedule 40. Every now and then we'll use 1.5 schedule 10 or 40. Not very often. Most of the time it's 1.25. So you can see what I've done here. Basically I just made this off of this. And so basically what I did is I just cut me a little piece. It's about 2.5 inches wide. I made it long and then I trimmed it down. But as you can see, it fits perfectly on the cope of this. And then what I'll do is I'll take this and transfer it to my new piece of pipe. This works good really anytime. Like I said, if you don't have the money to buy the equipment right now, you can use this and still manage to coat pipe. Yes, it's time consuming, but one thing I will tell you is in the beginning, jobs are going to take you longer. A, you're learning. B, you don't have the equipment that speeds those up. And what allows you to speed those things up is just to continue to do the work and get paid, and then take that money, squirrel it away, and reinvest it into your business. So stay right there and let me get a piece of pipe and we'll show you how this works. All right, so we're back. Got my piece of pipe, and what I'm gonna do, and I use Sharpies just because they show up really well. I think this pipe's actually a little crooked, but that's okay. It's just a scrap piece I had on the drop rack, and I'm gonna line this up. And like I said, I just made it just a little long. But the thing about this paper's thick. You can roll it up, put a little rubber band on it, keep it in your tool bag, your toolbox, wrap it around a screwdriver or something to keep it from bending. And then you can see there. And so what I'll do is I'll take my Sharpie and I'm just gonna mark if I can show you here. And I'm not paying attention to the weld seam on this right now just because I'm showing you this. So I'll mark that, make sure you keep it tight. Rubber bands are your best friend when you're doing this kind of stuff. You wrap a rubber band on it and it's not going anywhere. So I've got those marked. Just put a little X. I mark X's on everything. And pull that off, and there you have your copes. So now you're done with that. Make sure you got your safety glasses. And what you're gonna do, make sure you got your cutting wheel on. So when you cut, you're gonna cut with the grinder. If you're left-handed, it's gonna be a little bit of a struggle because you do not want to flip this over like this. If you do that, this cutting wheel is spinning this direction. So if you flip it over like this, it's gonna wanna kick back on you. Whereas if you flip it this way and the grinding wheel, the cutting disc is spinning this direction, you want the direction of the wheel away from you. So if this catches, and what causes it to catch is it just catches in the metal and gets pinched a lot of times. If you catch it this way, it's gonna pull that way. So for instance, if I'm here, I'm gonna turn this, it's almost a 45 degree. For this purpose, I'm gonna do it on a 45 degree. And I'll cut pretty much one cut. I'm not trying to coat this out. I cut, just turn this on an angle. So if you see here, that's about 45 degrees. I'm lined up with my mark on my pipe. And I'm just gonna cut straight through. Flip it over, straight through. It's just one cut. So here we go. So this is my, well, I'll just say my preliminary cut. That would work. You see there's not a whole lot of difference, it's just cleaner. See, one's cleaner, that's because it's machine, this is by hand. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll take my grinder with a flap wheel. Just got a 60 grit, you hear me talk about those a lot, we use 60 grit flap wheels. There you go, not too shabby. And this is what it looks like. It's a pretty good saddle there, considering it's just with a cutoff wheel. Well, that's not a gap there, it's just the way I'm trying to hold it and get it on the camera. So it's actually pretty tight. Definitely a weldable joint. No big gaps at all. And there you have it. Manual coping with a grinder and a cutoff wheel. So there you go. Just a little tip, Weld It Wednesday. Stay tuned. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do 5 minutes or less. Sometimes it'll just be me talking, explaining something. And what I want you to do is I want you guys to comment, because I get a lot of questions. By the way, thank you to you guys that have jumped on Instagram and followed us. If you haven't, check us out, Matco Mafia. And check us out on Instagram. You see a lot of our daily stuff, weekly stuff that we got going on, small projects that I just don't put on YouTube. And so check us out there. But I've had a lot of people reach out. Had a young guy this week reaching out just about questions regarding starting a business. And we've had multiple people commenting, and I'm grateful for that. Thanks for the support. And what I want you guys to do is comment below and let me know if there's something you'd like me to discuss, something you may be struggling with, something you don't know how to do. Something, but like I said, just try to keep it to a 5 minute or less. If I have to go over, I will, but I just want like a burst of information every Wednesday, and then we'll still follow up with our 20-30 minute videos that we're doing on bigger projects. So hope you guys have an awesome day. Weld It Wednesday.